Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be episode 2. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be episode 2 of my Let's Play with me, River. And for those of you that watched the last episode, after a little tour of this brand new world, we spotted a village over in the background over there. So we're going to go and check that out and have a look. So yeah, let's jump in and let's go. And there it is. So one thing I did do off camera, so you guys didn't have to watch me go and dig a load of stone and grow some spruce and break it all down, is I've just gathered some resources which would be helpful. So Mr. Cow, let's get some food from you. Yeah, gathered some resources ready for when we build a house. But first, let's go and check out this village. There's usually some good loot, but the main thing really, especially in the early game, is to just go and borrow some crops. You don't have to destroy the whole village and take everything. Oh man, I miss having elytra, but we'll get there one day. So yeah, I gathered some resources and just put them over there where those spruce trees are. And I haven't been in to check out the village yet, so that we can do that together. So good things to get from a village, as I say, are crops, some cool workstations, hopefully, if we're lucky, and obviously at some point some villagers to do a little bit of trading. So let's have a look, see what we got. Ooh, smoker. Okay, that could come in handy. We've got a farmer and some potatoes. Yay! Let's get some of those. Don't want to steal them all. Don't want to leave him unemployed. Oh, there's some more crops growing there. Got some wheat. Ooh, okay. Nothing that interesting in there. Hi guys. What we got in here? Ooh, books and a lectern. That is very helpful, especially as we'll be setting up an enchanting table pretty quick before we get to doing trade halls and things. Blast furnace, we'll have that at some point, maybe to make a smelter out of it, something like that. Lots of beds. Oh, look at that brewing stand. We'll have you. That is very helpful. Oh, there's more cherry over there. Right, so we've looked in all of those houses. So as I say, we won't steal everything yet. Set up a little base camp over there. So we're just looking for goodies really at the moment. Okay, cartography table. Compass, always handy. Paper for making books for our enchanting area. Carrots, we'll get some of those. Again, I won't take them all, we'll just grow some. Right, what's this up here? This looks quite big. Is that where I got the... Oh no, it's another smoker house. Cool, cool. Right, what else we got? Got more spruce up there. More potatoes. Don't want to fall down that hole. Oh, we can do a little jump off of here without taking too much damage. Hello, Mr. Golem. Obviously, don't ever hit columns, otherwise they'll throw you miles away and probably end up killing you. Sun's going down, but I brought a bed with me. Ooh, big hole. Might be another building down there. Right, it's nice to sleep as soon as possible when you're in a village, because you don't want any of them getting attacked. Because we'll need them for breeding and trading later on. So we want to keep these guys all safe. Right, a little house in here. Ah, stone cutter. Awesome. I love that because I love building in stone. What else is here? More potatoes. Okay, that's pretty cool. So, not tons of loot, as in emeralds and diamonds and stuff like that, but there is always lots of useful items to collect from villages. And also when it comes to trading, the reason I set up my base camp over there is it should be quite easy with some mine carts and rails to just roll some villagers down. You have to move them, or I prefer to move them 100 blocks away from their village, ready for breeding or trading, stuff like that. Otherwise it can go a bit weird and it won't work, especially with iron farms. So yeah, there you go, that was the village. Very handy. We'll get into that at some point and start moving them about and gathering stuff. But first of all, as I say, most of these guides are just going to be about the basics. So what I've done, as I say, here's my little camp. These are some bits I've just collected so far. That's where my food is. I think I've got cobble cooking in there for stone. And now I can use my stone cutter, ready for building some kind of house. These are the resources I've gathered. So again, cobble, spruce, because I like building in spruce. And I'll show you some cool ways to build a house and make it look pretty and avoid getting like the roof wrong and things like that. So we'll have a little look at that. So first of all then, yes, what we found last time was some iron. So let's cook that with hopefully some planks, because they're cheap to burn. And what we'll do is make our first bucket, and then we can just have a little look about and start planning where we're going to have the house, where we're going to want our crops, and then we can look at using the fences to get some animals set up, mostly cows, so that we can get good food and leather for the books that we're going to need for our enchanting area. So that's what we'll work on first. If you guys in the comments and things can let me know anything you want to learn, anything you want to get started on, or styles, like the style of the house, ways in which you do your builds and lay out your crops and things like that. Hopefully the iron's cooked now. Yes, it has. Right. So let's make a bucket. And then, as you can tell by the coordinates, we're quite high up naturally here, level 92. So the mine's going to be a long way down, and the other thing that's going to be a long way down is water. And now, one of the best things I learned early on, let's put it over here, is how to make an endless source of water. But what we're going to need now, do I steal water from the village? Do I steal water from the village? I think I do for now, because I can replace it later on. But for the infinite water source, we're going to need 2 buckets of water. So I'm going to have to do one at a time. It might be a little bit boring for you to watch, but if I grab that and head back, because what we don't want to do is have to keep running up here every time that we want to plant some crops. So if we build an infinite water source, then we'll have it to hand just round the corner. One day we can make it look like a nice well, all pretty, with an arch over the top and a nice stone surround. But for now, early game, it's just about surviving the night, not dying, and setting ourselves up with food and a safe place to survive whilst we make things and get building and make our mine and stuff like that. But for this episode, I think it's going to be mostly about setting up some little areas in the base. There we go. So long as it's flat, it's now infinite. I can take as much as I want from there. So, what do we think? Where should we have some crops? I'm thinking this nice little flat area here. So what I normally do to get the most out of this bucket is to pick an area. You can have 4 crops either side of the water source. You'll understand that in a second. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your bucket. Grab that bit of dirt, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, millions of you are going to know this stuff already, but there will be some people out there that don't. But basically, that water source is going to feed. Oh, that was an accident. It's going to feed this square of crops. Hopefully, this stone hoe will last long enough to do this square. So there you go, there's your crop patch. If I place that on there and then break it, it will tidy that up a bit. So in here we can start growing our carrots. See, it's getting nice and wet, the soil. There we go, so that's the carrots. Then we can go back to our water source. Oh, not very good at parkour, but you get what I mean. Back to the water source. You can mix all your crops up if you like, but I quite like to have them separate. I also quite like to line everything up because I'm weird like that. So we'll have a couple of blocks in between. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this one can be for potatoes. I know it's going to end there with that one. Obviously, while we're building this, the other ones, the carrots will be growing. The carrots and potatoes I find the most helpful Ah, the hoe broke. But also, not just helpful, is you can trade with them. And if you do build a villager breeder, you'll need to feed the villagers, and they like carrots and potatoes. So they do come in very handy, not just to eat, but for other reasons as well. Let's make another hoe. Ooh, don't run over the campfire. Yeah, so this is just getting set up with the basics, as I say. Eventually we'll hopefully make automated farms and have lots of redstone and stuff doing crazy things. But for now, this is just how to start. Now I'm toying with the idea of making some of these episodes shorter. So again, let me know what you think. If you think 25-30 minutes is a bit long, let me know. I might do some shorter ones that are 10 minutes or so. But when you're talking and you're waffling and you're having to find things to talk about, the time does go quite quick. So that's the crops on the go. That's a good start. So in the resources here, I've also got some fences. And what we'll do, I was lucky enough to find some leads when I was gathering the stone and the spruce. If you don't have leads, then what I'll do is just quickly... Oh, the other thing we'll need to grow is a lot of wheat for feeding the cows that we're going to have, for getting the leather, for the books, for the enchanting area. So there's always a reason behind what we're doing. Some people like to just build and make pretty things, which is absolutely fine, because I do as well. Excuse me. But most things have a purpose. So I've borrowed some wheat from those guys, which I'll replace one day. You can't just steal from people. So there's ways of getting these animals. So what I'll do, I'll probably clear this dirt out at some point, make it nice and flat. But what I'll do for now, I think here, is just make a little area to keep some cows. Now the good things with cows is you don't have to worry about dogs, wolves hopping over the fence and eating them. So you have to plan a bit better where you put your sheep. But you can either bring them over with your lead and just walk them into your pen. It's very handy that they're right here. And then you can just attach them in there. Or if you don't have a lead, which again you don't usually have access to in the early game, just hold up your wheat. You get them all to come over and you bring them in. And then if you're ready with your fence, feed a couple, let them get busy, and then fence them in. And they've already had a baby, and you get some XP as well. So the one that's on the lead, you can break that. And there we go. We now have a source of beef, which we can cook in the furnace. And we've got a source of leather for our books. So that's cool. So the next thing I'll do is find an area to keep some sheep, which I think will be here. Strange strip there. Because then the wolves can't get them. So I'll have a nice little place for the sheep. They'll be useful obviously for wool and all the different things that you can do with the wool. What size pen? That should be alright, something like that. Again, you can use the leads on them, or we'll use wheat if there are any about. There might be some down here. But the wool I use sometimes for building. Obviously I use it for beds. So if we do end up with an iron farm or something like that, then we're going to need a lot of beds. So yeah, there's lots of good things you can do with wool if we ever have any sheep come back. Come on, sheepies, where are you? Let's try over here. Eventually we'll gather more animals like chickens and horses, pigs, things like that to keep us company. But the most important ones to start with are definitely the sheep. And then what we're also going to need, go on you. Well, you're not very excited about the wheat, are you? Again, early game. It's all about the resources. We're going to need these guys. Come on. If you sprint too far away, they'll get bored and go and find something else to do. And then what I am going to need is a couple more iron to make some shears. Are they all going to come in or are they going to get stuck? Hey, look at that. So one, oh, they ran off. They're not the brightest. Where's your mate? There he is. Come on. In you go. Right, get ready with your fence. Place that down. There we go. Awesome. So that's a good start. Already, in 20 minutes, we've now got some crops growing. We've had a look around the village. We've got some sheep. We've got some cows. So off camera, after this one I might get some more resources, some more stone and some more spruce, and we'll think about where to put a house. Let me know if you think there's a particularly good spot. And then we'll start, hopefully, gathering some leather, making some books, and looking at clearing an area for the house. And then after that it's going to be planning where to put a mine. I spoke a little bit about that last time, and I'll do that again in the next episode. Cool. Right. Let's gather some food and some resources from these guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe so you know when the next episode comes out. And hopefully you find this helpful. Awesome. Right. See you later, guys. I'm River. And thanks for watching.